All right. Let's make sure we're back real quick. Let me know if you're out there. It says we're back online, so I don't know. We're having bad storms here, so we'll see what's going on with that.
Oof. That's what we're getting this weekend, so it's a good thing I'm not. It's a good thing I'm not a streamer.
It's not agreeing with me lately. It's crazy. We're getting ready to go racing, guys. We have another minute. Everyone is off track, and they're getting ready to hit the grid, and we'll get the grid line up here as soon as I can get everything ready for this. Just one more minute. These guys are lining up. So far, 15 with the time, so it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, let me know if you guys are back. Oh my goodness. Crazy. I don't know what was the deal with that, but qualifying a pole is going to be Austin Reedy with Hudson in second, Herman in third with the 26.95, Andrew Wisdom in fourth, and Edward Schur in fifth. You're starting in the back, Honeycutt. Oh, I see him out there in chat. Really unfortunate, but there's plenty of racing to be had, so we'll see what happens here.
Here we go, green flag. Boogity, boogity, boogity.
Do I need to quit? It's not letting me in here.
It's not letting you into the race?
Yeah, it said error. I'm getting back in now.
Oh, well, that's no bueno.
So far, the first one has been a little crazy here. Jeez, oh Pete's.
Yeah, this
It's testing me.
yeah, we're working out some bugs.
We'll get it. Are they on grid right now?
No, they are not on grid.
Okay, okay.
We're still at the end of qualifying. There's about 10 seconds left, and then they'll be on the grid.
Gotcha. It said error down there, so I'm like, all right. Before this goes any further, we're gonna go ahead and just reload that. I know, technology, you gotta love it, and you gotta hate it. We're at 45% here, we'll get back in.
Technology, not as much as you see.
Oh my gosh.
But
Captain.
they are starting to get gridded up here.
All right.
With Austin Reedy is officially your pole sitter with a 26.809, and James Hudson is on the outside with a 26.870. Those are your front two starters. Eliza?
We're at 60%, so we're still loading in there, Jordan.
All right. You want me to go through it?
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
Go through it.
Okay, we've gone through Austin Reedy and James Hudson. In row 2 is Brad Herman and Andrew Wisdom. In row 3 is Edward Scherer and Tristan Bailey. Row 4 is Richard Rico and Justin Mons. Row 5 is Jaden Gimbel and Doc Holliday. Row 7, Jason Keffer on the inside of Corey Andon. Row 7. 8. I've gotten all sorts of out of whack here already. Yeah, row 7 is Jacob Locklear and Chris Gutierrez. Row 8 is going to be Cole Snyder and John Honeycutt. Row 9 is Enrique Quinones and Michael York. Chandler Hayden and Michael Bain make up row 10, while Cade Gimbel and Christopher Fathke round out the field in row 11. So 22 drivers will be starting tonight. 15 of them put down a time. The other 7 opted to hang out in the back and watch everyone else wreck.
All right, you guys see the field right there. It's going to be quite the show tonight. You can see them lined up. We're going to have Reedy on pole leading us off to green with Hudson on the outside. That's a lot of good-looking cars. We're under the lights here tonight, so it's going to be definitely an exciting race. Thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry about the little mishap earlier. The storm here got kind of nutty. I don't know if that had something to do with it, but man, oh man, that's enough to wake you up.
Yep, that's a stressful start to the evening. Hopefully the racing is not any more mind-boggling than that, but they are starting to pull off here. Go around this track. They're going to take a couple of pace laps, then we're going to go green at Phoenix.
You can see the 20 of Jaden Gimbel right here, looking pretty good in that new paint scheme, and the 41 right next to him. Let's go back on board with our pole sitter, the 11 of Austin Reedy. These guys looking pretty good out here It's going to be an incredible race. I'm excited for this. There's going to be a lot of bumping, some banging. There's going to be some cars getting loose off the exits. There's so much going on for these guys. It's going to be incredible tonight. In 140 laps, anything and everything will happen as these guys are getting ready to go to green right here at Phoenix Raceway. Austin Reedy in the lead, the 53 on the outside, and they are off and running into the first turn. Oh, we have the 85 directly behind him. The 53 gets stuck on the outside. Andrew Wisdom in that 6 car. These 3 are just nose to tail, Jordan.
Yeah, Wisdom giving plenty of room as the other 3 he's racing against opted to use the dog leg there. The 53 of, or the 85 of Brad Herman, I should say, really diving into the corners deep. Saw that on the start going into turn 1. Saw that again going into turn 3. Herman getting in a little bit deeper than his competition, but Reedy still holding on to the lead. Andrew Wisdom has moved into that 3rd spot. James Hudson trying to take it easy right now in that 4th spot. Probably conserving some tires based on how conservative he is through the dog leg.
You know, I feel like these guys are taking it pretty easy so far. A single file line, just trying to feel out their cars, make sure they can get in the groove and do what they need to do to get moving. And they're doing a great job of it so far. The 5 is putting the pressure a little bit on that 53, but so far, these guys are running really good, Jordan.
They are, and currently that is the closest battle inside of our top 5, is that battle for the 4th position between the 5 of Edward Scherer. He is looking to take that spot from the 53 of James Hudson, but Hudson able to hold him off currently. The 5 taking a little bit of a shallower entry into the corner. The 53 about a car width off of that yellow line, so he's already starting to search up the track for a little bit of grip. The 5 is going to go around. Will the 53 race him hard or will he opt to let him go? Looks like he's going to race him hard, but now it looks like he's going to let him go. Move the 5 of Scherer into 4th place, Hudson back to 5th.
Yeah, these guys still so far a single file line. I saw Michael Bain enter pit road. Not sure what happened with that. We'll have to take a look here and see if we can find him. We have a caution out here. Michael Bain has crashed. Let's see if we can take a look what happened. Here you go, the number 34 of Michael Bain. Really unfortunate, just hits the wall. I'm surprised that caused a caution, but yeah, that's going to be the first caution of the night.
Yeah, he was already 3 down whenever it brought out the yellow there, so not sure at all what happened, and now his car has disappeared. Now it's back again. So not sure what's going on with the 34 of Bain, but obviously not the start that he was looking for. And I think these drivers were wanting a nice long green flag run to get into the swing of this race, log some laps, maybe put some of these drivers a lap down. But they're not going to get that. They're going to get a quick yellow, quick opportunity to come to pit road, and we're going to see if the aggression ramps up with a restart.
I'm hearing word that Jacob Locklear crashed also. Let's take a look at that and see what happened. Some of these guys are going to have to use their fast repair. You see them out there. I don't see any incidents with it. Oh, well, close, but these guys are off and running. They're still okay, luckily. Very close call there. These guys are trying to woe their cars down for the caution here. Lap 7 of 140, Jordan, and we've already seen our first caution. That was only a 1-car incident right there, and I think these guys are doing a terrific job so far holding it out. But I want to give a shout out to Smith in chat. Thank you so much. What up? We have Impact out there. Thank you for the follow. More than a Cape Vols fan. You guys are awesome.
A handful of drivers opted not to come to pit road for that yellow. Frozen, the 11 of Austin Reedy still out there, the 41 of Justin Mons. Looks like the 18 of Richard Rico have all opted to stay on track. You see the 50 of John Honeycutt. He is coming to pit road now. I wonder if these drivers are maybe going to wait until the 1 to go signal, come in there, get some fresh tires and a little bit of fuel. Try to maximize the fuel. Maybe there's an opportunity here for a fuel mileage race to steal some spots. If we should go green, maybe they just don't want to be up in the field, so they're waiting until the opportunity so they can go to the back with some fresh rubber.
Absolutely. John Honeycutt still on pit road. He should be getting off there shortly. But so far, these guys are just lining up. Like you said, a lot of these guys chose not to pit, so we're going to have some guys on older tires, about 7 laps worth, and we're going to have some guys on newer tires, so that's going to definitely mix it up here. We'll see how these guys can handle it, but it's going to be very, very close.
Yeah, our front 5, I believe, have stayed out on track. I believe they have not come to pit road. Perhaps they have? Can't really tell if maybe they came in and got 2 tires, if some of these drivers did, but I know the front 5 are definitely not on 4 freshies, that's for sure. The first car with 4 fresh tires will be that 85 car of Brad Herman.
Yeah, Reedy and Rico have not gone in. We're taking a look here at lap times and how these guys doing so far. A 26.9 for Reedy. Absolutely flying out there for these guys. Looking really good. Right now we're getting ready to come back from the first caution of the night. And we'll get these guys moving.
Judging by down there, the Michael Bain might have completely lagged out of this race. So unfortunate for him, currently listed 6 laps down. Still early in the race, 20 of our 22 starters on the lead lap. I believe Chandler Hayden did not take the green flag, did not put down a qualifying time, but they're about to go green here, Frozen.
They are about to go green, and Reedy will lead us off to the green once again with the 41 of Justin Mons on the outside. He gets a fantastic start and is able to jump directly in front of the 18 of Rico. These guys are off and running, and oh my goodness, we have another caution already. Let's take a look at this. What happened here as these guys are trying to make their way around the turn, and the 15 of Corey Andon causes a huge pileup. Definitely a tough one for these guys.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate there. It looks like he just overcooked the corner a little bit, got in there real deep. Not sure he would have made the corner if the 20 car hadn't have been there, but that then got into the 88 of Doc Holliday. Honestly, good job of Holliday and Gimbal there to hold on to their cars, with the O2 of Gutierrez nowhere to go. Car numbers, but that gray car and that white and blue car, just nowhere to go for those two.
Yeah, very, very interesting. A lot of cars involved in that, so they're going to have some catching up to do with that. Let's see if we can get Justin Mons over here and see if we can have a few words with him, how his race is going. Justin, it's Eliza in the booth. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
How's the race going so far? You've moved up to second place and had great start and a great strategy.
It's going pretty good so far. A little loose at the start on new tires, but I feel much more confident on older tires, so it was a smart call for me to just stay out and avoid the calamity back there, and it looks like it's already paid off.
Yeah, great strategy, and I hope it continues for you tonight. It's awesome seeing up there in second, and lots of luck to you tonight.
Thank you so much, Frozen.
All right. Justin Mons, that in the 41 car, super talented guy. These guys, I'm curious if we're going to see any more go in, but as Justin said, Jordan, he's glad he didn't. He's got more grip with the older tires, so we'll see what these guys can do.
And just to add on, that was Michael York and Enrique Quinones who were also involved in that accident. So 3 cars with some really heavy damage, or 4 cars I should say, with some decent damage. A couple of others with maybe some rear end damage that they can live with for now. But early yellow bred another yellow. It's like the old saying goes, cautions breed cautions, and hopefully that's not something we see tonight. But with this league, we have seen these drivers get off to I don't want to say rough starts, but usually they're action-packed starts. And then once they get a few restarts out of the way, they get used to driving around each other, used to attacking this racetrack, things smooth out, and we get to the green flag racing. But Currently, Austin Reedy still leading after starting on the pole, with Justin Mons a little bit of strategy getting him up into second. Current front row for this upcoming restart.
Absolutely. I'm curious how the 41 is going to do on this outside. Had a terrific start the last time, so I think he's going to do pretty well. Reedy, though, we're going to see what the competition is like for him. I know Brad Herman has a ton of speed tonight, along with Andrew Wisdom. So once these guys start shaking it up, we're going to have a very, very competitive race out here. We just need to get some green flags.
And Herman and Wisdom, as well as a couple of other drivers, were able to make up a position on that restart with just one corner run. So that shows the strength of those cars. Will the fresh tires, I mean, they're only about 7 laps better tires, but will they mean anything here on this start, or will these drivers who have stayed out on the older rubber, as we heard from Justin Mons there, he feels like he's more confident on older tires once the car tightens up just a little bit. So obviously that's a strategy play these guys are going for. We'll see if it works out for them.
You know, luckily for York and Canonas, they did have a fast repair. I guarantee they used it, but they're going to get back out here. We're back to green, guys, and Justin Mons, another fantastic start. Austin Reedy leading the field, and we're going to have the 18 of Richard Rico out here, currently sitting third, with Andrew Wisdom in fourth. These guys are off and running. Knock on wood, I don't want to jinx anyone, but let's go green, guys.
Yeah, the 85 did not have a good restart there, and Andrew Wisdom in that 6 started on the outside row, was able to cross in front of him, take advantage and get underneath both the 22 of Jason Keffer and the 18 of Richard Rico. So Wisdom in that first lap on that restart able to make up 3 spots, already up to third after restarting 6th.
Yeah, look at these guys, too wide, using every bit of that dogling, trying to gain position for these guys. Andrew Wisdom directly in front of him. That 85 is on the move. He's doing a fantastic job. Look how close these guys are racing, though. A lot of patience needs to be had right now. Some of these guys are on new tires, and the race, we're on lap 17 of 140. There's a ton of racing left to be had, so far, great job.
Yeah, Mons now under fire from Wisdom, who continues to be on the march on this restart. Currently looking underneath that 41 car. He's going to be able to clear him coming off of turn 4 as they cross the start-finish line. The 41, he's going to really back up his corner. The 85, we saw it on the very start. The 85 gets in just a little bit deeper, it seems, than everyone else. Got right up on that back bumper of the 41. No contacts, but that gave an opportunity for the 5 to go to the outside of the 85. The 41 trying to pick a lane here, and whatever lane he picks, the driver that's not in that lane is going to really enjoy it. But now they get single file. The 41 goes way up the track, running the very outside line. That's going to cost him a couple of spots. Move the 85 up to third, I should say, and the 5 up to fourth.
Yeah, look at these guys, how close they are. The 85, we have the 5, the 41, 18, super close to each other. And you saw on board with Brad Herman the line he was taking, and he was able to pass Justin Mons in that 41 as he got just a little loose. He was still able to hold on to it, but Andrew Wisdom and Austin Reedy, they are starting to leave the pack here.
Yeah, Reedy continuing to run really strong laps on those older tires. The 6 of Andrew Wisdom, he's run really hard from the beginning of this restart, but right now that's showing no ill effects. He's able to put some distance on that 85 of Herman. So Wisdom currently searching for the lead from the 11 of Reedy, who has led from the very beginning of this race.
Let's go back and take a look at the 23 car. He was involved in the incident earlier. Doing a great job right now. He is currently sitting P14, making his way up through traffic. He's got Corey Andon behind him. You see Jacob Locklear in a battle with Corey Andon in that 15. These guys very, very tight. You could cover them with a blanket right now. But the racing so far, really, really good as these guys are trying to make their way around. You really have to just let the car roll through the corners and able to catch it coming off.
There's a great battle going on for 11th between Jaden Gimbel and Doc Holliday. That one has worked itself out as Gimbel used a couple of laps to make that pass. Now Holliday falling into the clutches of that 2 of Cade Gimbel. So 2 Gimbels in a couple of laps here could get by Holliday as he is trying to get back into a rhythm, but behind him is an absolute mess. You saw the 23 go wide, and we have a yellow.
We have a yellow. Let's take a look at what happened. That is with the 0-2 of Chris Gutierrez. Manages to get a little loose. It looks like he was able to keep it off the wall pretty well, but that's going to be enough to have our 3rd caution of the night.
Yep, and that's where we were looking that a lot of the danger was going to be. That turn 4 is not doesn't have as much grip as you would want it to have. Doesn't take a lot of throttle to kick the rear end out, and that's what happened to Gutierrez there. Just got a little bit aggressive with it, trying to run down the pack in front of him. Puts it in the wall coming off of turn 4.
Let's see if we can get a talk with Austin Reedy, who is currently leading. Austin Reedy, it's Eliza in the booth. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How's the race going? You are absolutely dominating so far. I know we've had a few cautions, but how you feeling out there?
Pretty good. I like the way the car's handling. We've led every lap. Kind of stayed out there the first pit cycle because I didn't think there was enough laps on the tires. So I think it's a good call. Still in the lead, so we're gonna get some fresh tires and see what happens.
Absolutely. Well, a lot of luck to you tonight. You're looking very strong, and hopefully we'll see you out in the booth afterwards.
All right, see you guys.
See ya. All right, that was Austin Reedy. Very, very strong runner here, doing a terrific job. But you see all these guys on pit road, no surprise here. All I'm seeing, Jordan, is that Jaden Gimbel in the 20, he chose to stay out.
Very interesting call here. I wonder if he's potentially going to, at some point, hit during this cycle, or if he's going to try to get to the front. If he's going to try to use this to get to the front, if he doesn't feel like Reedy did earlier, if he feels like maybe there weren't enough laps put on the tires there, and he can stay up at the front. But honestly, no other cars attempting that strategy. The 11 of Reedy going to be right on the outside of him with fresh tires, and this could potentially cause a stack up on this restart.
Yeah, let's take a look at the last time that Jaden Gimbel pit, if we can get the pit strategy up here. We'll see. Yeah, you see it right there. He pits on lap 8. So it looks like he's on some older tires here than a lot of these other guys. So we'll see what happens with it and how he can fare. But Austin Reedy is going to have the outside as we start off here. Jaden Gimbel, he's going to have to defend his position and tread carefully in front of these guys as they're going to try and make their way around him with fresh tires.
Also, the corner entry is going to be an interesting place to watch, because with that little bit of tire wear, the car is going to be just a little bit tighter. So on entry, going to be a little tougher to get into the corner, get down to that yellow line to run the preferred line around this track. So with the 11 on the outside of him, he's going to want to get a good restart, but the 11 might be in a tough spot here, depending on how this restart goes.
You see Richard Rico in 7th currently, and that number 18 car having a great run tonight. And this is for a guy who wasn't even sure if he could show up tonight. So great to see him out there. Glad he's doing well. We'll see what he can do. He's got John Honeycutt, who was unable to put a qualifying lap down. It did not take it. So he had to start from the back, and he is currently running P8. I'm very curious, Jordan, what we will see on this start with Jaden Gimbel as the pace car is going off the track, and we're going to have Jaden leading us off, and here we go. Heading into the first turn is going to be very interesting for these guys.
Gimbel able to get a great restart there, able to clear the 11 of Austin Reedy by a car length or two.
Yeah, you can see a lot of guys going deep into the dogleg there, very, very close. But Austin Reedy starting to catch up to Jaden Gimble, who is on older tires. So we'll see what happens with that. But these front four guys are single file so far. It's starting to get mixed up towards the mid-pack. We'll see what happens here, but Austin Reedy going underneath as Jaden Gimble gets a little loose and Austin Reedy makes his way around. The 5 car goes underneath him. Jaden Gimble's going to fall back another position into P3 as they're trying to make their way around.
Yeah, that's just an easy mistake to make there. You're trying to be aggressive while you are out front. You got to hold on until the tires equalize a bit. Try to get all you can coming out of turn 2, and no, what happened?
That's going to be another caution. Chris Gutierrez once again. You saw it in the background. He gets loose coming off a corner exit. Nothing he can do. And here we go into the wall. And that is going to be a lot of damage for him to repair right there.
Yeah, he was able to save it the very first time, keep it out of the wall with a great save, but that time absolutely killed the left side of his car. That's going to require a fast repair, as you said. And so he's going to be out of that for this race.
Jordan, I don't even want to know how many cautions we're going to see tonight. I was warned that there's a lot of guys, a lot of racing that has been done at Phoenix this week, and there was a lot of cautions in each and every one of them. So I warned you tonight. I'm like, I've heard we're going to have some cautions. This is the 4th caution in 31 laps. I think that once we get to go green, we'll be okay. It's a lot of one-car incidents where you get loose coming off the corner, and it all goes downhill from there.
Yeah, I have a league race tomorrow night here in the truck, so I might have to get some extra laps in just to make sure I'm not spinning out in every corner like some of these guys are. But we noted it beforehand. We saw it in practice. We experienced it for ourselves and getting out there various times. The track is just incredibly slick, especially on corner exit, and you just have to breathe on that throttle barely to keep that car underneath you. You have to have so much finesse with that right foot to make good lap time while keeping the rear end happy. And so these drivers struggling with that right now, but a driver who has not struggled with that is that 11 car, who once again is able to take the lead on that restart. He has led most of this race. The 5 of Edward Scherer has worked his way up into second, with the 53 of James Hudson currently in third.
Yeah, we have a lot of takers for pit road. You can see them down at the bottom of the screen here. So we'll see how they come out, I should say. But so far, who we're going to see as the leader is going to be Reedy, Scherer, Hudson, Mons, John Honeycutt, who's going to round out your top 5 as we come back to green shortly.
The 15 of Corey Andon, he came out. The 20, the 6, Andrew Wisdom making a pit stop there. Interesting with the 85 also on pit road. So some of our heavy hitters from earlier in this race have opted to come down pit road during this caution flag. So a slew of strategies going on as we're not even quite to halfway yet. 140 laps to be run tonight. We are working lap 32.
Still a little bit to go here. We're on board with the 5 car of Edward Scherer. He's had a great race so far tonight and a lot of strong races, currently sitting very good in the point standings. I'm excited to see these guys. A lot of these guys I did not know before the season, so it's really fun to get to know these new drivers and see what they're all about and see how competitive everyone is. It's been really fun so far.
Oh, our front 4 are ready to get racing again. The light's still out on the on the pace car, and they're already getting doubled up, getting into formation. They want to go green, as we want to get green and see some action, see some racing out there. But again, with the treacherous conditions, that's just difficult to find at this moment. Now the lights on the pace car are out, and the driver's starting to double up as we get ready for a restart. We'll be on lap 35 when we go green, so 106 laps to go, I believe, once we take the green flag.
We're on board with James Hudson in that 53. We're going to take his point of view up here as we're starting. He's going to be starting P3. So we'll see what we can do here. We've got Austin Reedy leading us off to the start with Edward Schur on the outside. It's going to be close. These guys are on fresh tires, so they're going to have to really be patient with each other. It's the story of the night. One car incidents all night. We need to get a handle on that, and once we do, we're going to be good to go. All right, green flag back once again. We're on board with James Hudson. Currently sitting P3, Austin Reedy with a fantastic start. Wow, very close between the 5 and the 53, but these guys are off and running, and they're looking good so far.
Yeah, Hudson using that dog leg, the 5, opting to take the around the yellow line, the higher line. Not really able to gain up any time was that 53 car. Our front 4 pretty separated from each other, pretty even spacing. Back to 5th place, though. There is a hot and heavy battle, actually, for that 6th spot between Doc Holliday and Jason Keffer. Right now, they're fighting over that 6th spot as they go through 1 and 2, I should say. Now Keffer continues to fall back as he's under fire from the 86, and as soon as I say that, the 86 able to clear him. So move Keffer back all the way back to that 8th spot after restarting in, I believe, the 6th position. So a couple of spots lost early on this restart.
Yeah, these guys are having quite the battle all the way through. A lot of two-wide racing right now, and that's where it can get pretty tricky. You see Andrew Wisdom on that inside coming up. I think someone might have even cracked the wall coming off there. You see a lot of sparks flying on that outside, but these guys are still off and running, and they're still looking really good. Let's go on board with Jason Keffer on that outside. He's had a couple of rough races out here, getting a little frustrated with how his races have ended. But so far, he's doing really good. He's out here in 10th, and hopefully he can get a top 5 finish tonight.
Yeah, struggling on this restart, but in the back, it looked like the 20 of Jaden Gimbel got super loose and was able to hang on to it. A great save on the front straight, but that's going to cost him a lot of spots, a lot of track position. But once again, loose off of turn 2 is that 20 car. A magnificent save, but he is going to be all the way back in, I believe, 19th.
Yeah, Atlanta says Reedy is always fast, and you are right, Atlanta. It's so much fun to watch, and no stranger to that tonight. The 11 is out front. We have Edward Schur in that 5 car, about 0.6 behind, so he's putting a little bit of a gap between him and 2nd place as Edward hits the wall a little bit, makes some contact. That's going to slow him down even more, Jordan.
It is. I'm watching a little bit further back at that 7th position. The 6 of Andrew Wisdom and the 85 of Brad Herman. Those two came in during that last caution flag. They came in, got some fresh rubber and tires, and they have been on the march since this restart began. The 6 of Andrew Wisdom underneath the 50, and we had a wreck.
We had a wreck, and we were on board for that. Let's take a look. You see just a ton of cars right together. The 41, just hits his back bumper and off and around he goes. That is going to bring out yet another caution of the night, our 5th one.
Ooh. Big ol' wreck.
Yeah, definitely not a good one to see here tonight, but man, they were lying when they said the cautions were going to be real. We're at 41 of 140. Austin Reedy has led pretty much every single lap here, if not all of them.
Yeah, hard to really tell who might be at fault there. The 40, it looks like the 50 just got into the corner and washed up across the 41's nose, went head on into the wall. Hard contact for the 50 of John Honeycutt, and it looks like his teammate, the 84 of Jacob Locklear, was the one who made heavy contact with him, as well as the 15 of Corey Andon. So teammates involved in that. Your car is an expensive accident for you, Frozen, or Eliza, I should say. A little used to calling Xbox races with you.
I know.
As an expensive wreck for you that time around. Got some work in the body shop for your boys to do.
Yeah, Team FTR. It's getting a little expensive tonight, but we'll get them back up and running so far. We'll get them back up there. But take a look at who is out of pit road. I don't even think he did pit. The 22 of Keffer. He is out and ready to go. We'll see what these guys can do, but pit lane is awfully busy at the moment.
If he didn't come in, then that's gonna be once again. And he struggled mightily on that restart that last time around after having not pit with more laps on his tires and with basically the whole field having come in. Either if he does not come to pit road here during this cycle, I don't see this going too well for that 22 car. But maybe he knows something that we don't. Maybe that thing's still trying to find some speed. Maybe he just wants some track position, not be stuck on that outside lane and get freight trained like he did in that last restart. But he's going to have that 11 of Austin Reedy on his bumper, doing everything he can to retake that lead.
Absolutely. It's going to be a close one. I do want to give a shout out to Help Desk. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. And he is rooting for Keffer. Atlanta Racing is talking about getting a team for the Truck Series. I think that would be a lot of fun. Absolutely. These guys are starting to line up, getting ready to go back to green. I'm just hoping that we can get some green flag laps. These guys have been battling it out. Once they have been a few laps of green, a lot of great competitive drivers out here just going 2 and 3 wide around the turns. It's definitely a slick track, so we need to get past that part. Jason Keffer is going to have a heck of a time in that top spot as we are getting ready to go back to green. I'm wondering if he can hold him off because Jaden Gimbel, while he had the same strategy, you saw him get a little loose and he had a lot of cars pass him on the low side as he struggled to keep it high and off the wall. We'll see what happens as we get ready to go back.
Yeah, that's the goal here for the 22 is just to run nice, smooth laps. This is a tough track to pass on if you can just keep her nice and steady. But got to be easy with that throttle pedal. That loud pedal has gotten a lot of drivers in trouble tonight. But we're about to go green here, speaking of that loud pedal.
We're about to go green, and Jason Keffer is going to lead us off with Reedy on the outside. These guys are off and running the 5 car of Edward Schur. He is directly behind him, and that is going to leave the 11 of Austin Reedy on the outside. Edward Schur going deep into the inside, and he's going to pass up Keffer on the inside, and that's going to put him in a battle for second at the moment. Austin Reedy still has a huge run on that outside. Great job for position, and that's going to give us a new leader, Edward Schur.
Yeah, Austin Reedy on that outside, he was able to clear the 22. The problem was the 5 was able to take it 3 wide down into the infield, grabbed a hot dog off of a grill down there on his way to turn 3, was able to take over the lead. Now him and the 11 are trying to pull away from this field. The 53 of James Hudson has moved into that 3rd spot with the 6 of Andrew Wisdom and the 85 of Brad Herman. Those two have been passing a lot of cars tonight. The 22 of Jason Keffer has fallen back into the 6th spot, and he is now under fire from the 86 of Tristan Bailey.
Yeah, as these guys are battling it out, our 1st and 2nd, they are starting to put a gap over 3rd place. Look at this 2-wide battle between the 53 and the 6. Absolutely insane. Great racing, and he's got the 85 of Herman directly behind him, just waiting for something to happen so that he can come underneath and take over position.
Yeah, the 6 of Wisdom has been really strong all night. The 53 has been toward the front basically the whole race, but the 6 just a little better at this point in the run. The 85 is well going to follow him through. I believe the 53 just let them go, hoping that later on in this run they will come back to him as he tries to conserve those tires. But the 6 and the 85 putting down a torrid pace on this restart as the 2 of them are searching after our leaders, and we have another yellow.
We have another yellow, this time involving Doc Holliday. Let's take a look and see what happened. Oh, it looks like, yeah,
Contact.
Corey Andon, contact between him and the 88, and that is going to spin out Doc Holliday. He's going to have to go in and repair that damage.
That's the second time we've seen the 15 get really deep into turn 1. The 88 didn't really leave him a lot of room, but the 15 wasn't really alongside of him either. So just two drivers coming together there, but the 88 getting a lot, getting the worst end of it, and the 15 once again involved in an incident tonight.
Yeah, we'll see what happens as we go back to green, but man, oh man. I'm curious if we're going to see Keffer come in to pit road this time around. He lost a lot of positions off of that one. Is back to, was that Keffer that stayed out, or am I just making that up?
Yeah, it was Keffer that had stayed out.
Yeah,
yes.
He moved back to P8, and so far it looks like we have all takers for pit road except for the 41 of Justin Mons. Oh, we have 84 out. Yeah, we have a couple of guys that are choosing not to go on to pit road. Very, very interesting strategy here.
Yeah, the 41 of Justin Mons, one of those drivers, as well as the 84 of Jacob Locklear. Let's see, the 18 of Richard Rico as well, staying out under this restart, or under this yellow, I should say, for this restart. So our top three scared of being in the back, and honestly, that's, I think, what most of this strategy seems to be. These drivers being real aggressive, staying out on old tires, staying in front of the field, and at first it kind of makes you scratch your head. But with all of the incidents we've seen in the middle to the back of the pack, you do not want to be there. You want to be up toward the front with those drivers who are doing frankly a much better job of holding on to their race cars and keeping their race cars off of each other. So that might be why the 22 on much older tires opted to stay out that last restart, and why these three drivers up front are opting to do the same.
Absolutely. Justin Mons going to lead us off with Jacob Locklear on the outside. We have Richard Rico, who we saw up here earlier tonight. He's going to be back up here in P3 with Edward Schur, who's had a heck of a run so far, along with Austin Reedy. These two have been battling it out since the last caution happened. Sixth caution of the night. Still a ton of racing left. We're only on lap 52 of 140. Anything and everything could happen so far.
I wonder if these drivers are getting doubled up early because they expect the start finish line to be in a different place. I'm just thinking to myself, it seems like they're itching to race. We've had a lot of yellow flag racing. We're at lap 52, still not quite to halfway. 140 laps. We're about 18 laps from halfway. We'll be 17 when we take the green. So a lot of racing left, and I think these guys want to get to it.
Yeah, I think they do. And we have Yensa out in chat that says, this race would drive me crazy with all of the yellows. So I have a feeling that a couple of these drivers they might be getting a little frustrated with the amount of yellows. But it's Phoenix, it's loose, and you see just the slightest bit of contact is going to spin these drivers out. And it's so easy to even do it by yourself. You just have to have a lot of patience and give each other a lot of room.
And one thing I'm seeing is in sixth place, Corey Andon has been sort of the epicenter of action tonight. Not in the best of ways. He's going to be starting up in the top six, the outside of row 3. So I think these drivers going to be tiptoeing around that 15 car. We're going to see how aggressive he opts to play this, if he is able to keep it off and maybe have a nice quiet restart here. But we're about to go green as the pace car is pulling off.
We're about to go green and off. We are running. Justin Mons out there in the lead. Fantastic start for him. We have the 84 of Jacob Locklear sitting P2 at the moment with the 18 right nearby. He brings it a little high, so that is going to allow these guys to pass him as he falls back. Edward Schur, he drives it deep down into the corner, and he is able to pass up the 18. He's going to start working on second place soon, Jordan.
Yeah, we've seen Schur really utilize the shortcut through the dog leg a couple of times tonight. That's how he was able to take the lead on that last green flag run. He was able to take third there using that same. Now he is going after the 84 of Locklear, who gets incredibly loose coming off of turn 2. Was able to hold on to it, but he is going to lose that spot to the 5 of Schur. So move Schur up into second place, while the 11 behind him is able to take over that 4 spot. So those two drivers who were first and second on before that last yellow, they're working their way up through the field, but the 41 of Mons continues to lead.
He is continuing to lead, but I'm not sure for how long, as Edward Schur is all over the back bumper, and he's going to dive it down low once again. Almost get up beside him, but not quite just yet. You can see how loose he's getting into the corners here. It's just that track. Justin Mons directly ahead of him in that 41. He's getting loose also. This can turn pretty bad pretty quickly, so you have to have a lot of trust in each other to race this close.
It's so tough to be patient with the throttle when you have the lead out in front of you, or when you have a driver breathing down your neck the way the 5 is out behind the 41. I get tongue-tied as the 5 takes the lead underneath the 41. I say that the 41 fights back on the outside. Mons outside of Schur. The 11 trying to figure out who's going to win this battle. It's going to be the 5 of Schur. He will clear Mons off of turn 2.
What an insane race. We have a new leader. That is 5 of Edward Schur, and we have a battle for second place. Justin Mons going to go ahead and take over P3 as Austin Reedy moves into second place in that 11 car. Incredible race for the lead here. Meanwhile, we have a whole second pack back there that is leading with Jacob Locklear. Look at these guys. He is in P4 at the moment. He's going to have Corey Anden, who we've seen involved in a few cautions. He's going to be P5.
Anden is held on well in that spot, but him and Locklear are forming a bit of a blockade for the 53 and the 6, and some of these drivers who have been toward the front of the pack most of this race. Those two are racing each other really hard. The 15 of Anden able to win out as the 84 stuck on the outside, as the 53 and the 6 use that preferred line to try to make the move. And now I think those old tires are starting to affect the 84 of Jacob Locklear as he continues to fall back through the field, losing multiple positions with his teammate. Or not, that's the 53. Sorry, that's not the 50. That is the 50. No, the 53. The 85. I knew there was a 5 in there somewhere.
I was curious.
85 of Brad Herman.
I was trying to save you, but I didn't know which one you're talking about. Oh my goodness, James Hudson. Yeah, he is currently sitting P5 at the moment with Andrew Wisdom directly behind him. He has been on the move also. These guys single file at the moment, but that's not going to stay that way for very long. You still have the 5 carded Edward Schur out front, leading the pack, but take a look at this. He gets spun around. Oh, what a fantastic save there, Jordan.
It was an
Absolutely
excellent save.
Incredible for him. That was save of the night.
11. Yeah, the 11 got in there really deep. Looked like the 5 might have hit his marks there. The 11 looked like he was going to slide up the track, got into the rear bumper. The 11 actually did a pretty good job of giving him room after making that mistake, with the 5 with an excellent job of saving that race car. Now we'll have to see if those two cars are damaged in any sort of way as we continue to log laps and they continue to battle. Oh, there's a wreck in the back between the 15 and the 86, I believe.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. Corey Anden and Tristan Bailey make some contact, and that is going to bring out another caution.
And Enrique Canones just came in there really late and got into the end of that one of those cars. I can't remember which one, but absolutely plowed into it. So would count him as one of those involved in those wrecks. And I believe he has used up his fast repair. So a couple of cars involved in this wreck, I believe, have used up their fast repair. So the and the 84 was involved as well. Jacob Locklear got a piece of that, clipping the 86 as well.
A lot of cars involved in this particular caution. The 7th of the night, you can see Enrique in that 45 car. A ton of damage for him. Really unfortunate. You hear Jacob Locklear has damage. Tristan Bailey has damage. A lot of these guys are going to head to pit road and try to get new tires, fuel, fix that repair, do the repairs, and we'll see how they come out.
Yeah, just the 15 getting loose, nowhere for any of these drivers to go, and just a night that I think Corey Anden would like to forget, as he'll be looking forward to next week, as I believe his night is getting pretty close to done with the amount of incidents he has had. I think that car pretty well damaged by this point.
Yeah, a very busy pit road. You see, we're on board with Austin Reedy. He is out on pit road and is off and running. Richard Rico, he is going to be the leader for this, so he will be leading us off. Very close, but Austin Reedy will be coming out second. We're going to have Andrew Wisdom in that 6 car. He's going to be P3 with the 53 of Hudson. It's going to be P4. Justin, what's up out there, Rangers? I know some of these guys are having a tough race tonight. Great racing, Yensa said it, great racing when it is green, but it's tough out there. Very slick. Jordan, we've seen the race so far. I gotta ask you, who do you see as what we're gonna see for the win tonight? Who are we gonna see up there?
Austin Reedy has looked excellent all night. Even whenever he's been put in the back, he's been able to work his way forward. Led a ton of laps tonight. That 6 of Andrew Wisdom has not really had track position all night. He's passed a lot of cars, but with the way the strategy has worked out, him and the 85 have currently been in the same boat as far as that's concerned. Andrew Wisdom and Brad Herman. The 53, I think, has just been super conservative. I feel like he's driving a real conservative race at this point. The 53 of James Hudson. The 41 of Justin Mons has made some great pit calls, some great strategy calls to put himself toward the front at this point in the race. So a lot of drivers with some chances. We've seen the 5 of Edward Scher. He's been super aggressive. I think the 11 of Reedy still might be my pick here. But we've got a large array of drivers. That 6 of Wisdom and the 85 of Herman, I would not be willing to count out yet.
Yeah, looking at practice, Herman was right up there, had a fabulous run in practice. I heard he does a lot of wins here. Reedy is just so strong tonight, so I'm going to, I can't bet on one person. That's just me. I'm going to have to say Reedy, Wisdom, or Herman. We have a lot of strong guys out there, and Justin Mons, we've seen him up here a lot too. So, guys, let me know in chat, who do you see winning? Who's your driver?
A little bit of confusion coming to the line here. We don't have a row 4 as 2 drivers single file, and they're gonna take the green flag here, kind of out of line, but we're taking the green anyway. The 11 on the inside gonna lead them into 1.
11 is leading them into 1 with the 6 directly behind. They're going too wide for 3rd, and also for 5th place, a long single file line back behind them. But man, oh man, Austin Reedy is just on a rail tonight. I don't know if anyone is going to be able to compete with him. We just talked about all the people that can compete, but he is something else tonight. He has obviously figured out what he needs to do.
Absolutely, and he had an excellent restart. The 6 used every inch of track that he could to try to make up ground and still lost it on the 11 of Reedy. Now we'll have to find out if the 11 is burning his stuff up, maybe a little bit, but these drivers, we think they're burning stuff up, but they are really talented at turning quick lap time while also conserving their tires. The 53 has moved into that 3rd spot. Not the greatest of laps for the 41 of Justin Mons. Got stuck in that outside lane, moved from 3rd to 6th. He is settled in line in front of that 22 of Jason Keffer, with the 81 of Michael York behind him. But currently it's basically Reedy, and then a gap to Wisdom, and then a gap to everyone else at this point.
Yeah, single file line at the moment. The 6 car, absolutely amazing for Andrew Wisdom, how he dives it so deep down there. You can do that, but it will wear those tires drastically. So it's interesting to see how he continues to do that. A lot of these guys will stay above the yellow. It's going to wear a lot easier on the tires, and you'll be able to run those lap times a lot longer. But Andrew Wisdom, he uses it fantastic in order to pass people in front of him.
Looking like we're about to have a battle shape up for 3rd. The 85 just ever so slightly closing in on the 53 of James Hudson. Hudson still running that conservative line. through the dog leg, and we just hit halfway a couple of laps ago as we are working lap 72, now 73 of 140. Only 68 laps remaining in this race, and still a long way to go for these guys, especially with the number of yellows we've had. But currently the best battle inside the top 5 is for that 3rd position between James Hudson, Brad Herman, and Edward Scherer, and now the yellow flag is out once again.
The yellow flag is out. And let's take a look. Tristan Bailey involved. We'll see if it's a one-car incident. And he gets into Jacob Locklear, which has had an unfortunate night tonight. Tristan Bailey in that 86. He's going to be spun around.
And behind him, it looked like a corner before the 88 of Doc Holliday as well got around, so he has a little bit of damage on that car as he nosed it into the inside wall. So a couple of wrecks here, and honestly I wonder if maybe that's what caused it. Nope, that's not what happened. The 84 got loose up above the 86, and that was what happened. So those two still racing, but 3 cars damaged there in 2 different wrecks, and the 86 and the 84, we saw those in that previous accident, so they don't have a fast repair to use here. They're going to have to go to pit road and get their virtual pit crew to bang some fenders out with a hammer or something.
Rangers, I swear. I see you in chat. That's crazy. We have Giver saying, I think Hudson is the dark horse. I don't disagree with you. He's got a lot of talent out here. Has been running top 5 for most of the night. Looking really good. You can see pit lane is very, very busy at the moment. The 11 of Austin Reedy and the 53 directly behind him on pit road. Justin Mons has chose to stay out. We have Jason Keffer. He is out there also in the 22. These guys are going to be leading him off once the caution is over.
And once again, everybody hitting pit road except for 2 drivers that we've seen play aggressive strategy staying out. The 41 of Justin Mons and the 22 of Jason Keffer, two of PlayStation's finest over from the NASCAR heat side. They're staying out there. Mons going to retake the lead here with a 22 of Keffer on that outside. That will be your front row for the restart. And again, just from what we've seen, this is probably the smart play because I imagine have a couple of yellows left in this race. It will not go green all the way, so maintaining that track position has been the smart move all night long. We'll see if it continues to be.
You know, it would be very interesting if for some reason we went green the rest of the way, but as you said, I don't think that's going to happen. Justin Mons has played a great strategy so far with that tonight, also with Keffer, as you said, so we'll see how that plays out for them. They have Brad Herman directly behind him, and Hudson, Scherer, Gimbel, a lot of talented guys, so we'll see how they can fare out. You see, I just noticed that we have Jaden Gimbel. We saw him involved in an earlier incident. He is now in the top 10 along with York, so great to see them up here. We'll see if we'll get them in the top 5. Michael York out here in the 81. Very good to see him up here, along with the 23 of Cole Snyder. Going to be an interesting ride back to green.
I haven't seen Cole Snyder really all night, which with the way the race has gone, that's a compliment at this point for a lot of these drivers, as the 23 has had a quiet night. We saw him in practice get launched sky high, but the 23 currently sitting in that we just pulled everything down. Why did I do that? In 7th spot currently for this restart.
Cole Snyder will be P7 with Michael York P8 with Gimbel directly behind him and Honeycutt behind York. So it's going to be very close. We're going to ride on board with Mr. Michael York and see how these guys fare. Coming back to green, it's going to be a very competitive start.
Green, green, green.
And they're off to green once again. Not a great start for Michael York, as they've got a lot of gap between him and the fella in front of him. But these guys are they're off to a good start so far. Cole Snyder in the 23 doing a great job directly in front of them. Jordan, these guys are off and running.
They are off and running. I'm curious what happened with the 11 of Austin Reedy during that pit cycle, because him and the 6 of Andrew Wisdom both well back in the pack, but the battle is for the 4th spot right now is James Hudson falling back. Not sure if he got the wall or not, but he really lost a lot of momentum coming out of turn 2 there. Or turn 4, I should say. He is falling all the way back to that 6th spot as Caden Gimble is looking underneath him. Now the 53 able to pack it down on that outside line. The 2 trying to stay off of him. They're going to be neck and neck as they drag race off of turn 4 to the start-finish line.
Caution, caution.
A caution.
And another wreck.
I'm pretty sure I saw just a peek of that. Michael York was the one involved in that one. We'll take a look and see what happened. He just loses it coming off the corner. The 81 is around, and Jacob Locklear trying to get around him. The 34 making some contact with him. That is going to be a lot of cautions. I don't even know what number we're on yet.
Yeah, I don't know either, but the 81 and the 18, that's palindromic, if that's actually a word, and for everyone that likes their palindromes, with the 81 and 18 getting together there as the 81 gets loose. The 18 of Richard Rico, nowhere to go. Honestly, no way to have avoided that. The 11 of Austin Reedy, who's been toward the front basically all race. That last pit cycle left him toward the back of the field. He got a slight piece of that as the 18 nicked his the 18 nicked his right rear. That shouldn't be too much damage to that car, but still not where you want to be, and that's the danger of getting back here, and that's why we have seen drivers like Justin Mons, Jason Keffer, and others play that aggressive strategy, because they don't want to be in the back with these treacherous track conditions.
Absolutely. A lot of takers once again for pit road. You see Justin Mons out there, Jason Keffer, Hudson. We have Andrew Wisdom all on pit road coming up for a stop here. Meanwhile, the 85 of Herman and Schur stayed out, so they will be leading us back to green. A lot of different strategies here tonight, Jordan. You see somebody different hang out every single time these guys are under caution.
Yeah, a lot of a veritable plethora of strategies, as some would say. The 85, who I don't think we've seen him up in the lead. He's been one of the fastest cars all night, but we haven't been able to see him actually take the lead. As you noted, he is now currently leading the pack, as he has opted to stay out and you're just playing roulette at this point, deciding when you want it to be in the lead, when you want the tires, when you put yourself in the back of the pack, in that middle of the pack, to race around everyone else. So right now, some of these drivers have done a great job, have gotten lucky, have picked well, while others have not fared quite as well. But we still have over 55 laps remaining in this race, so still a lot of time to make up positions, to make good decisions, and also to make bad decisions.
Ethan, what's up out there? Thank you for tuning in. You say the 5 got a penalty for orange line violation. You see Cole Snyder, he's moved up to P3 after these guys have gone on to caution. So Justin Mons directly behind him, and we have James Hudson in that 53. He's going to be starting off P5. We have Cade Gimble. He is actually going to be starting P6 with Jaden Gimble starting right next to each other. We have Jason Keffer coming out P8. Andrew Wisdom is going to be P9 in that number 6 car, and our top 10 is going to end with John Honeycutt in that number 50.
A lot of these drivers that you're mentioning have just had such an up and down night. We've seen them involved in incidents. We've seen them up front making passes for the lead. We've seen them in the middle of the pack trying to work their way through. It's going to be crazy to hear from our top three at the end of this race, the kind of nights they had with being out here. But still, as we said, a long way to go. We will restart here on lap 85, 56 to go as we try to get to lap 140 with as few yellows as possible. But honestly, this field, not a lot of drivers currently out there, as we still have 16 on the lead lap. Everyone else, it appears, is behind the wall.
Yeah, from 19th on, it looks like these guys are out, so we'll see what happens. But these guys are off to green once again. We have Brad Herman. He is going to be leading us off with Cole Snyder moving into P2. Let's take a look at this, and Edward Scher is definitely already making a move on that outside. Guarantee he's going to bring that down low, and he's going to be off and running in P2.
Thought they were about to go 4 wide into turn 1 for second, or turn 3, I should say, for second position. They end up getting single filed out. The 5 of Edward Scher shot out of a cannon from that group. He's going to chase down the the 6 of Andrew Wisdom was not clear, and he is into the wall. That is not going to bring out a yellow, it doesn't seem. But him and the 20 of Jaden Gimble racing hard there, and it looked like the 6 tried to make an aggressive move to try to get underneath the 53 in front of him and was just not clear of the 20, and ended up getting involved in that. The 20 made just slight contact with the wall, if he did at all, so he gets through scot-free. But the 6 of Andrew Wisdom, an over-aggressive move, going to cost him here.
Absolutely. We have the 85. He is off and running about a little over half a second in front of our second place of Edward Scher in that 5 car. These guys are starting to spread out a little bit, man, but we've had a couple of fantastic saves tonight, including the 6 of Andrew Wisdom. Really unfortunate to see what happened with him, but that's the thing with the dog leg here. When you have so many different lines you can run, things are going to happen like that. So unfortunate to see, but no caution has come out. We're on lap 88 of 140.
The 11 of Austin Reedy starting to work his way back through the field. He's seen nothing in front of him for much of this race, but now he's been mired in the pack, but he just passed the 23 of Cole Snyder for that 5th position. So he has worked his way back into the top 5. They have the 53 of James Hudson, who our chat mentioned was their dark horse, was one of their dark horses to win this race. Up ahead of him, the 41 of Justin Mons. Since restarting there, since kind of sneaking his way into the top 5, has been a fixture up there for most of this race. The 41 staying strong in that 3rd spot. The 5 of Scher and the 85 of Herman continue to pull away.
Justin Mons doing a great job in P3 right now. Herman and Scher, they are doing a great job in 1st and 2nd, just running their lines and trying to get away. Justin Mons getting a little loose coming off that corner, but manages to hold on to it. And we've seen a ton of that tonight. These guys just trying to do all that they can to hold on to it.
And we just had a pass for that 4th spot. James Hudson, Austin Reedy was able to get underneath him. Hudson conceded the position before going into turn 3. So that conservative race from Hudson, that is still continuing. And honestly, that's probably the correct play. He's letting the 11 car go, hoping that he comes back to him as the 11 really running some fast lap times, some hard laps as he's trying to run down these leaders. He is already to that rear bumper of the 41 of Justin Mons. Only 1 car length separating them as they take another lap off and head into turn 1.
Yeah, pretty close battle between the 11 and Justin Mons in that 41. But take a look at who's almost in the top 5. John Honeycutt in that 50, as I think he makes a little contact with the wall coming off the turn. He's got Jaden Gimble directly behind him in that 20. But a great run for these guys so far, and they're starting to get spread out, Jordan. Except for, 3rd and 4th, these guys are starting to put a little gap between each other, which may help out.
Yeah, I think Reedy's about to make a gap there as he was able to take that position from Justin Mons. A nice smooth pass. Mons didn't fight it too much. Reedy moves into 3rd, into that podium position, but he's going to be trying to chase down that 5 of Edward Scher, who is pretty close to that 85 of Brad Herman, just close enough that if he makes a mistake, he will be there. Got that lead down to 3/10. So currently the 5 stalking that 85 for the lead.
He sure is, and it looks like he's putting the time down just a little bit. He's at .15 directly behind him. He's starting to put the pressure on him, letting him know, I'm here, I want the lead back. But Brad Herman doing a fantastic job in the lead. I'm not sure how much longer he can hold him off, though.
Yeah, but he was shot out of a cannon on that restart, but the 5 might have played it just a little bit better, or maybe the 85 has decided that now is the good time to conserve his stuff. He was actually able to pull away down the back straight just a little bit there, out a really strong 1 and 2 out of Herman. They go through 3 and 4. The 5 might just be a little bit better there, as Sure are able to close that gap down to another 2 car lengths, but still, they're watching their mirror because the 11 of Austin Reedy is coming.
He is definitely coming. You can see their mile per hour at the moment. Brad Herman at 170, Edward Sure with 168, with Austin Reedy 166. These guys are very, very close, and they're running very similar laps out here. So it's gonna be time and how they are in the long run, how they can handle their car, and we'll see what kind of strategy they can pull. If we can get some green flag racing, it'll be interesting to see what they can do out here.
Yeah, the 5 got up to almost to the bumper of Brad Herman. I think he saw his opportunity, got on the gas just a little hard, got loose. He lost a car length there, and the 11 was able to get within a car length of him. That is not what Sure wants to see while he's trying to attack the Herman at the 85 of Herman. He is now under attack from the 11 of Reedy, and that's not the position he wants to be in. The 11, who has been the fastest car all night by just from the eye test and from him leading a ton of laps, he is working on that 5 of Sure.
He sure is. He is on the move, and he's coming for that lead also. We had Sure trying to work on the 85, but as you said, he needs to worry about the 11 of Austin Reedy behind him, and it looked like he made a little contact with the wall. Some of these guys having that coming off these turns. It takes a lot. You got to swing it out wide, but it's very, very close. It does get loose coming off the corner, so it can be pretty tough holding on to these.
The 5 is actually able to put a little bit of distance, and by distance I mean maybe a half a car length on the 11, as he is caught back up to the 85's rear bumper. He's now within a half a car length of the 85 of Herman. Sure, not able to get out of turn 2 as well as Herman is, or the 11 of Reedy. So Sure struggling just a little bit in that first half of the racetrack, but here's where he seems to be making up a lot of distance through 3 and 4. The 85 actually able to leg it out on him a little bit more. Maybe the 5 has started to burn his stuff up just a little bit, or maybe he's got a little bit of a distraction from that white and red machine behind him.
We've made it into the triple digits, 101 out of 140. I want to take a look at the back of the pack here. We have Richard Rico in that 18. You saw him up front in the top 5 not too long ago. A tough race in the final part of this, but had a great run earlier. Michael York in that 81 car. You saw him up front, same thing. Tough race, involved in a couple of cautions out there, but he's still out there and running. Great to see him out there.
Great battle for 8th between Tristan Bailey and Jason Keffer. Keffer able to make the move underneath him. The 86 got super loose coming off of turn 2 and is now trying to fight off the 2 of Cade Gimbel, who has fought back into this. And we've seen the 6 of Andrew Wisdom up front for so much of this night, now mired back in the 11th spot trying to pass these guys. So a hot and heavy battle for that 8th spot, as our lead 3 remain unchanged but still close together. The battle seems to be for that 8th spot.
Absolutely. I mean, there is 4 of them super tight here. And look behind him. We have Andrew Wisdom in that 6 car. He's wanting to make a comeback. You saw him earlier in the race have an incident going on. He is making his way back up here, and he is trying to work on these guys to gain some positions.
Meanwhile, in the 4th spot, Justin Mons gave up that position to James Hudson. So move Mons back to the 5th spot, Hudson up to 4th. Hudson now going to try to make a slow and steady march back toward those front 3. See if that conservative start to this restart will help him out on the long run. But behind the Mons, now he has to worry about the 50 of John Honeycutt, who is entering the picture in that 6th position.
He is working on him, but take a look at the gap between 3rd and 4th. A 0.68 to a 2.78. These guys are having quite the gap between them. But Austin Reedy, we get on board with him, and you see his rear a little loose, and he's got some damage on there. I'm not sure what happened with that, if he made some contact with the wall, but that is obviously going to affect him out there.
That was from that accident with the 81 and the 18. The 18 clipped his right rear just a little bit, put some visible damage on it. I'm not sure how much that is hurting the car, but considering that he seems to have burned his stuff up and can't get past that 5, maybe that damage is hurting him just a little bit, thrown off the balance of that car just a touch. But the 85, the 5, and the 11, still about 3 car lengths between each of them. Really even spacing between our top 3.
Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We really appreciate it. Rangers, Justin, Hall, you guys are awesome. Dayuper, what's up? How are you? You guys, again, let me know who you guys have winning. Herman is strong out there. Reedy's on the move. The 5 car. Right now we're on board with Jacob Locklear, who is sitting P12. He's got Cole Snyder up ahead a little bit, but on the run we saw him up in the top 10 for a while. Involved in an unfortunate incident there, but it's getting kind of crazy out there.
Honestly, I think it's gotten a little less crazy now. These drivers have started to get a little single file action. Oh no, what happened?
Andrew Wisdom going side by side with not Cole Snyder, but Jason Keffer, if I'm not mistaken, the 86 car. I'm trying to say Tristan Bailey.
Yeah, there you go.
Getting very, very loose once again with a fantastic save, and I'll get these numbers right one day. But he is off and running once again. But man, oh man, that battle 2 wide was pretty intense.
Yeah, Andrew Wisdom able to move into the 9th spot, so trying to rebound from an unfortunate middle part of the race. They're going to, next time around, there will be 30 laps to go. So we're finally nearing the final stages of this race. Laps ticking down one by one. Lap 111, these drivers are beginning to work. The 6 of Andrew Wisdom trying to work his way forward again. He has the 22 of Jason Keffer up in front of him, and then a large gap to Jaden Gimbel, who we saw earlier a dicey moment, a couple of dicey moments for the 20 car tonight. He's been able to work his way back and rebound into that 7th spot. He has John Honeycutt in his sights a half a second in front of him.
Yeah, John Honeycutt and P6 at the moment, about 4.69 behind our leader. Brad Herman still on the run. He's got Edward Schur all over him, waiting to try to make a move on him. But, tires are starting to wear here. We'll see what they can do. Austin Reedy, you see him in the background out there. These guys just single file, but they have put quite the gap between them and 4th place.
Yeah, and I think the 11 starting to struggle just a little bit with that race car as he got really tight. He looks super loose going into turn 1. I think maybe that right rear damage that you noted that we saw earlier, I believe that is starting to affect that 11 car as the tires start to get worn down. Not sure if that's the case, but that just visibly seems to be it, as that car super loose going into turn 1.
Let's take a look at the 81 of Michael York, currently sitting P14. He is right next to Cade Gimbel in that 2 car. These guys were battling it out, and I do believe Michael made the pass on him. Meanwhile, we have Richard Rico out there in that 18 car sitting P13. These guys are really starting to spread out now, J-Mac.
They are, and they're starting to run into lap traffic, something that they haven't seen all night. The 27 of Christopher Fathke, he just went a lap down. And so now there are only 15 cars on the lead lap. There's a pretty sizable gap to the 2 of Cade Gimbel, but still our leaders going to have to deal with lap traffic before this race is over. 27 to go, 26 next time they cross the line. Still plenty of time for action to happen, but currently the 85 of Brad Herman is starting to pull away from that 5 of Edward Scherer, who is also pulling away from that 11 of Austin Reedy. So our front three, who are on top of each other for much of this run, starting to spread out.
They're definitely starting to spread out. Austin Reedy in the 11 making his way past the 27. We have the top two still in front of him, but as Jordan said, he is really falling back. That damage obviously getting to him. Meanwhile, Justin Mon sitting P5 directly in front of 50 of Honeycutt. Single file line. The gap is starting to grow. What do you see?
I just saw the craziest thing in the world. The 22, I don't know if he had to pit for something. The 22 of Jason Keffer came into pit, made a green flag stop. As he was exiting pit road, the 81 and of Michael York and the 2 of Cade Gimbel each got loose and split him. It was the luckiest moment of the 22's life, but it was absolutely crazy. Gonna have to get a clip of that because that was amazing.
Austin Reedy heads on to pit road. Let's take a look. Everyone else has stayed out here, but he has headed on to pit road, gonna fix that damage, and hopefully we'll see him back on track once again shortly. Brad Herman still leading the field here with Edward Scherer in second in that number 5 car. We have Hudson P3 in that 53. Really unfortunate for Austin Reedy. You can see James Hudson in P3, Justin Mons in P4. Meanwhile, John Honeycutt has made his way into the top 5. We'll see if he can hang on to that as there's 21 to go. We're coming down to the final part of the race here. Not much longer to go. We'll see if these guys make another pit stop. It's going to be cutting it close there. Brad Herman, I'm curious if anyone can see him. We have a couple of guys taking him as a dark horse, and we see Jensa saying, I got the 85.
Well, that's obviously a great pick considering he's currently our leader with drivers. A couple of our drivers having hit pit road. Kind of wonder what the strategy is for the remainder of this race, but you noted our issues with Austin Reedy, currently 3 laps down.
Yeah.
Just an unfortunate way for this race to end.
Yeah, you know, even with that damage, he could have probably pulled out a top 5 or so, so I'm not sure exactly what happened with him. Just unfortunate to see him out tonight as he was definitely a competitive and strong car. Let's go on board with Justin Mons. He's got the 53 directly in front of him. A real chance to make up yet another position. We'll see if he can hold on to it and gain another position. Fantastic race for him tonight. We talked to him earlier, and he was liking that he was on older tires. And so far, what he's doing here at Phoenix, it's working for him.
And it looks like he's starting to close back on the 53 of James Hudson, so third might not be out of the question for our driver of the 41, Justin Mons. He is starting to close that gap on the 53 of Hudson. Hudson got a little bit, caught that lap traffic in a little bit better of a spot, might lead to the able to add to the gap between himself and Mons. But still, a really strong run for Justin Mons. A lot of strategy, a lot of crazy strategy that seemed out there, but it put him up front, put him in a great spot, and he's been able to do a lot with it.
John Honeycutt in the top 5, about 6.5 seconds behind our leader. You see Christopher Fathke in that 27 behind him. That is a lapped car, the first one that is a lap down here. John Honeycutt, I talked to him before the race, and he was very confident in his strategy and how he was running. You just got to get past those first few laps where you're loose and try to hold on to it, be patient, and he's up here running the top 5.
couple of really good battles toward around the 9th to 12th spot. Jacob Locklear under fire from Richard Rico for that 9th position. Rico has been able to run down Locklear a lot over the last few laps, and he is going to look underneath the 84 of Locklear. The 84 are going to have to concede that position. The 18 starting to come alive, while the 84 starting to fade back a little bit. Meanwhile, behind them, they're currently getting lapped. The 81 of Michael York, him and Cade Gimbel were battling it out, but now a large gap is formed between them, so not sure what happened there. Probably a little loose condition based on what we've seen the rest of the night, but currently only 11 cars on the lead lap, as we only have 14 laps to go the next time they hit the line.
Edward Schur in that 5 car. You see him out here directly in front of Michael York, starting to vary things up a little bit as these guys are making their way around. Brad Herman, still our leader, still out here running about a second ahead of Edward Schur in that 5 car. I don't know, we're coming 13 to go. Does anyone have anything for him? Edward Schur, he's still working on him, still trying. We have Hudson in that 53 behind, but he's about almost 5 seconds back. I'm not sure he's going to be able to do it, especially within 13 laps.
Yeah, right now, currently the gap sure is closing in just a little bit. The best battle inside of the top 10 right now is for that 6th position. Andrew Wisdom continuing his revenge tour from getting mired back in the pack in the middle portion of this race. He is working on that 20 of Jaden Gimbel, who himself has had a rebound from some rough luck. Those two battling it out for the 6th spot, Wisdom and Gimbel. Wisdom looking underneath him. He's able to get to his bumper, but has since stalled out a little bit, about a car length off of that 20 car.
Yeah, very close battle for these guys, and Andrew Wisdom, he really still, even at the end of this race, is still diving it very low in the dog leg here. You'll see it right here as he cuts across the back bumper of Jaden Gimbel. Very close call for these guys. We'll see if he can make it on by, but he is definitely putting the pressure on, saying, I want to go by, I feel like I'm faster, let me by.
Yeah, I believe, the 20 of Jaden Gimbel had to hold on to it there, trying to get on the throttle, a little aggressive with it on those old hot tires. Did a nice job of hanging on to it, but lost all that is momentum. The 6 of Andrew Wisdom able to make that pass, move him into 6th, Gimbel back into 7th as Wisdom continues to move through the field, but not that many laps remain in this race.
Not many laps remain, and we have a Cole Snyder currently sitting P8 in that 23 car. A nice comeback for him, considering the incidents that happened earlier. He's got Jacob Locklear in the 84 behind him just a little bit. You see him back there. He's got some company, too, with Richard Rico directly behind him, and he's got some damage on that 18 car. You can see it on the front end of that car, so that is definitely going to be affecting him out front here. But Brad Herman, he's still in the lead. Edward Schur a little over a second behind, so that gap is definitely increasing out here.
Yeah, it was only about 9/10 about 3 or 4 laps ago, and it's growing about a half a tenth, a quarter of a tenth a lap by this point. Brad Herman putting on a clinic at the end of this run. Only 6 laps remain in this race. Herman continuing the lead. He has led much of this back portion of the race. Herman looking strong out there, not looking like anything can touch it.
Definitely. You know, I don't want to jinx him. Knock on wood. We have some fans for Cole. Ironman said, let's go, Cole. He's having a great run out here. I do believe this is his first race running for PSES. Currently sitting in the top 10 and P8 at the moment. We'll see if he can make up any positions, but doing a fantastic job out there with the 84. Kind of knocking on his door behind him, but these guys are separated a tiny bit. No fear just yet, but Edward Schur in that 2nd spot. That gap is still increasing. Brad Herman just has a long run, and Jordan, I just don't think anyone's going to be able to catch him unless something drastic happens in these next 4 or 5 laps.
Yeah, he was able to pull another 400ths there, almost a half a tenth. So he continues to increase that gap ever so slightly. Nothing Sure can do right now. He's just hoping for an incident or a yellow flag, but this long green flag run has played right into Herman's hands. He had the track position on the restart. He was able to nail it, get out front, and he's been able to run his pace this entire run. And right now he's looking strong. He lost 100th there, but obviously that's not near enough with only 4 laps remaining.
4 laps remaining, and look at the gap between 7th and 8th. Jaden Gimbel is going to be the split between 7th and 8th, where Jacob Locklear is about 26 seconds behind, so a huge gap. I'm not sure that he's going to be able to make up any more time unless something happens to these top 7 guys. But 3 to go. Brad Herman still in the lead. A lot of green flag racing in this latter part of the race, so really cool to see that happen, and they're starting to come up on more traffic here.
Yeah, Cole Snyder I think the handling has fallen off of that car. He just lost 2 spots to Jacob Locklear, and Richard Rico still looking strong in that 10th position. If he can finish out the night where he is going to finish inside the top 10, but he is currently about to get lapped by our leader, who only has a lap and a half remaining as he goes through the dog leg. Only 3 lapped cars separating him from a victory, and he doesn't even have to pass them as he has a 1.5 second lead over the 5 of Edward Scher. He's about to take the white flag.
Yeah, this is definitely Brad Herman's race to lose as we are on the final lap. We'll see if we can bring him on home. It looked like he had a little wiggle there entering the turn, but he is still off and moving. We're having some lap traffic, so I can only imagine how nervous he is as we're coming around the final turns here. Let's bring Brad Herman home and get him as the winner here tonight at Phoenix Raceway. He is our winner. Congratulations. We're going to have Edward Scher come home in second place, and we're gonna have James Hudson. He's gonna bring home a podium finish.
Ooh.
Top 3. What?
We have contact for the 8th spot. Richard Rico just dumped Jacob Locklear for the position as they were still on the lead lap. The 18 able to take off, but the 84 spun it, was able to save it, but moved the 18 up to 8th, and the 84 back into the 9th position. With some aggressive racing, it looks like the 18 might have gotten a little wheel hop going into 1. Not sure. Looked a little loose, but the 84 actually was rather slow going through that corner too. So the 2 just kind of came together. And I believe if you asked Jacob Locklear, he would say he just got dumped by Rico. But a little bit of action there on the final lap as Herman was able to stink up the race for the win.
X500.
Let's try to get these guys in the booth. Absolutely amazing race. Man, oh man. We have Brad Herman in chat in the broadcast booth. Congratulations on the win tonight. I mean, absolutely phenomenal job out here. Take us through how your race went.
Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah, it was a pretty up and down race. I got put in the back a couple times, and I spun on pit road by myself. So I went through the field a couple times, and I was just lucky to get back up front before that green flag run happened.
Yeah, you did a great job. I'm not sure anyone could catch you. You kept increasing the gap. What was your strategy going in tonight?
Oh, well, I don't know. I'm practicing for another league race coming up, so that was my main thing to practice on, and I just wanted to keep it clean and keep my fast repair in case anything happened, and definitely wanted to be fast on the long run, and this Shawnee Chevrolet was definitely fast on the long runs.
I see you guys celebrating out there. A fantastic job out there tonight. Is there any sponsors you'd like to thank?
I just got to thank Shawnee's, like I said, and I also got to thank Sandwich Man Racing. Go check him out on Shopify.com if you want to get any die-casts. He's a great sponsor of the team, and I also got to thank Bronco Motorsports.
Absolutely. Well, great job. Congratulations, and love the burnout. Awesome job here tonight.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for the broadcast.
Absolutely. All right, Jordan, you want to get our second place? Edward? Sure.
Yeah, here with Edward Scher, a wild race up and down. It seemed like you had to pick and choose when you wanted to be back in the pack, when you wanted to be up in the front, just with all the yellows. Talk about your night dealing with those caution flags and what more you might have needed on that long green flag run.
Well, first it was chaos to begin with. We managed to have, I don't even know how many cautions to begin with. So, I mean, I was just basically depending on if we take tires or not. And, I mean, we took it a couple times, worked out for us in the end. I was hoping to get one more caution here in the end, but it didn't work out for me. But, yeah, the long run wise, I felt like we were good. We just got blocked by a lot of unnecessary traffic for no reason, and I don't know. It was just really odd. I mean, I felt like I got to Brett a couple times, and I feel like I should have just took him out if I was gonna try to get by him because every time the dirty air was nothing. But I think my only move was if I was gonna just dump him or not, because I mean, I don't know what else am I gonna do. I mean, I tried my best and hung out with it. The right rear was dying in the end, so it was gonna be hard to get him back anyways. But I felt like I could have done something different, probably. I don't know. I just didn't feel like dumping the man, but I guess that's what I gotta do to win these things. So appreciate everybody at Nitro Motorsports once again for the effort. This is my best Phoenix finish by date because I'm never good here. So I mean, it's been fantastic and a good start to the season for us. So we'll see what we got next week.
Strong run by the 5 of Edward Sure. He comes home P2.
We have James Hudson in the booth also coming out with a podium finish. Another fantastic race for you in that 53 car. How was it out there? You were very competitive, but take us through your race.
Oh, slick all night. Me and this track haven't gotten along since a couple builds ago, and I knew coming into this race I just needed to keep it clean and really focus on a good points night. So that was the ultimate goal. I knew I didn't have nothing for him up front, and congrats, Brad, on the win. And just glad to get it home in one piece and get that podium again and have a good points night.
Well, you did just that, so congratulations. A great finish for you guys, and it was so fun watching you guys once we got to green flag racing, so congratulations. Next week, we are headed to Atlanta. It's going to be a fun track. Hotlanta, here we come. I hope you guys tune in for it. Justin Mons, I see you out there in chat. Great job out there. And Jordan, it's always fun with you in the booth.
Yep, another crazy night. A lot of beat up sheet metal. A lot of strategy. When to pit, when not to pit. When you not a lot of drivers not wanting to be back in the melee, picking and choosing when they came in to take tires. Then at the end, a long green flag run to finish the race. And at the end of the day, Brad Herman came out on top. It was a lot of fun to watch, as always, Eliza.
Absolutely. We'll catch you guys next time at Atlanta. Make sure to tune in, same time, same day. It's going to be Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, you guys take it easy.